bringing back the barbell where it belongs in this industry. Or maybe not today, because hold on to your butts, folks, because we've got infamous video you guys were asking for, and on top of which I was going to make regardless, which is the self-improvement purgatory trap. Now, before we dive into this, we have to define what is self-improvement purgatory. And I define it as the state in which a person does not know how to improve one's life without the reliance of a cult leader and or self-help guru. So now that we've laid out what is self-improvement purgatory by definition, let's get into the 7 signs that you are in self-improvement purgatory. Now, purgatory trap sign number 1 is living and dying by one person's word. Now, you're already off that Dunning-Kruger high, right? So you think you're the shit, you think you know everything. You've probably watched a handful of courses and or read some ebooks about maybe your own dating life or how to improve other aspects of your life like your fitness and your financial stability. Yet you still have nothing going for you, but you believe everything that this one person says at face value. In reality, you barely know what the hell you're talking about because you've been brainwashed by these quote leaders that say that you're supposed to be speaking with such conviction, yet you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And you've been brainwashed, God forbid, that you're still doing affirmations or visualizations. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, man, you have way more issues to be worried about. Convincing you that making $10,000 a month is supposed to be like this end all be all goal. Common denominator that you see between all of these guys in these sales pages and on these community tabs. But you never seem to ask yourself in these demographics in these communities, what percentage of people are actually making the $10,000 a month? Hell, if any money at all. Yeah, newsflash, buddy. Which leads me into my next point, which is purgatory trap sign number 2, people selling you a community and or course. Now, I'm not saying I'm opposed to people making money online through the internet. At the end of the day, a man's got to make his bread and got to make his money, right? This is business. At the end of the day, people need to be making some sort of profit off of a product or service so they can make a living for themselves. But when it gets to the point where these quote leaders or these quote self-help gurus tend to all sell you the same communities and courses, join my community for XYZ, buy this course so you can make X amount of money, buy this ebook so you can learn how to socialize with this girl. Any of these products, you guys have to understand, are not only scammy, but these people themselves, they don't even know what they're talking about. And I know it sounds crazy at first, but you have to understand, guys, these cult leaders, these leaders, it all trickles down into like a funnel. These people are going to try to sell you a course that they got told to make a course from the leaders that were brainwashing them in the first place. So it goes in full circle. At the end of the day, they're going to go to the big boss to get the best help they can get. They're not trying to go on to the little guy that has his little community page with 10 followers. I know who I'm talking to, okay? Understand something, guys. Anybody that's trying to sell you a course and or community, you need to be skeptical of. I'm not saying you should never buy any products online or buy any services online that can help you, but understand that when you see all these people all sell and or create the same products, you need to understand that there's something going on. There's more nuance behind it than just, oh, he's just trying to help me out. It's like, no, man, he's just trying to make a buck off of you. And you need to understand this. It's like everybody and their grandma is selling you a community and or course. Now, also too, guys, understand something. If these guys are selling you a sales phrase like, I'll see you on the other side, or if you don't buy this, X is going to happen, you need to understand that that right there is their hook onto you to try to brainwash you into getting them to buy their products and or services. You need to also realize that even if you do buy these products or services like communities and or courses, you have to also understand that inside these communities and courses is the flawed business model. I term this as the state where you believe that you're gonna make the same amount of money as what these guys are telling you. Understand something, guys. You're making these people money just by buying their own communities and or courses. They claim that they're making thousands of dollars a month. Yeah, you're contributing to that. I hope you understand that. That's the only reason why they have this amount of money. It's not because there's some special freak that just solved a new equation like Albert Einstein. You guys guys need to understand that. So then maybe you're one of those guys that fell into that flawed business model. You also need to understand that in return, you get nothing, but you're paying these guys hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars for their help or for their product. So you need to understand that because you fall into this category, you need to get out. I'm not just saying this because I want you to watch more of my content. I need you to learn how to save your own money. Okay, I'm trying to help you out here. Understand that you not only need to save money, but you need to also save your time. At the end of the day, it's about time effectiveness, right? You don't need to be trapped in these communities or into these circles for years and years and years on end, constantly spinning your own wheels. I did the same thing. You guys need to realize that these same guys have a bunch of people inside these communities, maybe including yourself, and they are doing the same thing that you guys are following, which is their flawed business model. So in return, you pay them month to month or even buy even more product or services to get additional help for the problems you couldn't even solve in the first place, which was maybe making money online, maybe getting into a relationship, etc. These guys want to sell you a dream, not a brutal reality. Now this leads me into the purgatory trap sign number 3, falling for the emotional appeal logical fallacy. A lot of these guys are going to mention in their channel or wherever they post content on some sort of sob story about how they were maybe bullied in high school, or they were neglected as a child, or maybe went through abusive childhoods from their own parents, or maybe they sucked at getting women in high school, just like the vast majority of us. These guys use their own insecurities and project it onto other people, including yourself, so that it goes back again to purgatory trap sign number 2, which is buying the communities and or courses and any sort of product or services that kind of ties down into that as well. You guys notice how this all points connect with one another? It's at the end of the day, these guys want your money, okay? These guys don't really want to solve a lot of your problems. Hell, they could really care less if they did. Their whole point is to make a buck off of you, okay? Understand this. This is the point I'm gonna have to keep repeating till the end of this video because I need this to get drilled into your head. Notice how all these points are going back to their products and or services for a reason, to make you buy in. They know this inherently. In reality, these guys also have a lot more issues than what you think. Off camera, these guys struggle with this macho man kind of mentality. I need to be the best everywhere I go, and they suffer from that perfectionism kind of insecurity as well. So you need to understand that a lot of these guys, what they claim they are on camera is not what they are in person. Do not be fooled and gullible enough to actually believe something like that. In reality, these motherfuckers are so insecure, it's mind-boggling how manipulative they can be. The only good trait, if you even want to call it that, that's up for you to decide. This leads me into the 4th sign that you're in self-improvement purgatory, which is suffering from insecurities and or obsessions over habits. Understand that most of the mainstream self-improvement industry itself is hell-bent on these habits, right? You always see this all the time. You got to do XYZ, XYZ to live a good life. Understand that most of these mainstream self-improvement influencers off camera still have, as the gym bros would call it, demons to fight. Their entire persona is about having the most optimum life. Very similar to the science-based lifting community. I did make a short on this, which you guys can check out. On top of that, they have many habits that they track and that they do throughout the day. These guys obsess over having maximum optimal productivity, yet these guys have no receipts to show it, no proof to show it. You check these guys, how much money are they making? Barely anything. Just a bunch of gray faces that claim that they're working and getting money, yet they're barely making shit. Yes, business has a time period where it's slow, but when you use a copy and paste MPC business model from these people, you don't make money because you're trapped in self-improvement purgatory. You also ever realize how much of a poker face these guys put on? They can be very serious and very stone cold faced on camera, but then off camera you may see them smiling or goofing around or acting as if everything's all la-di-da-di-da, like these motherfuckers have been raised by fairy tales and always smiling. Yet these dudes claim that they're always smiling, they're always happy for some reason, even though deep down the smile is a part of their act. They're phony motherfuckers. Now this leads me into purgatory trap sign number 5, which is you think that these people care about you. And I know this is going to upset a lot of you guys, but you need to understand something. I don't care if someone's DM'd you a message after you left their community, or they try calling you or messaging you after you stopped paying for their one-to-one coaching or some sort of help from services. These people do not care about you. They only care about making money from you. And I know it's really hard to realize this. You're probably young, probably in the ranges of 16 to 18, right? I went through it secret to, but you need to understand that these people, not only do they not care about you, but once again, it's business. They have no emotional attachment towards you. The only emotions that they project onto you is manipulation and to give you that emotional appeal. The second you leave these communities and or stop paying for their services, they couldn't give two shits about you. They move on and brainwash the next person and then the next person, etc. They may even send you a message with your name in it. Understand that these people are businessmen/women. They have a team of personal assistants and workers under them that can send you an automated message with your name in it. Once again, going back to the emotional appeal effect. These cults are business models that are designed to have, quote, a community where you don't feel alone. Anytime they're selling you a community of that nature, it means you're a part of an internet incel space. As much as this angers many of you, it's true. You give yourself that belief that you can't make friends and or network connections with people that don't live the same exact cookie cutter life like you. You're thinking like this. Just listen to yourself when you say a message like that. What the hell do you expect people to be? Just like a robot like you? Like an identical twin? Have you lost your goddamn mind? This is when you know you've been brainwashed. Now, the sixth sign that you're in self-improvement purgatory is you become self-righteous to this lifestyle. You may have tended to tell yourself throughout your time in these communities and or courses, if you're still in them, you probably are, that I will never leave these communities or I'll never stop paying for this service. And you may even say something like, everyone else around me is all worse off than I am. Guys, understand something. Just because you do these habits does not make you a better person than the person next to you. If anything, it may even make you worse because you're tied down to these habits. God forbid something happens in your life and you're not able to wake up at the same time. God forbid you go to sleep a little bit later. It's a part of life. Things happen. You have to understand that. Not every single thing can be a part of your control. Once again, it goes back to that sign of suffering from an insecurity and or obsession over habits. You can't just be unemployed, living with mommy and daddy forever, still talking about that same business model. You've been trying to make money for more times than you can even count. You become disingenuous towards this lifestyle, including the leaders, who themselves are the most disingenuous. It's how they get you to keep going in their business model. It's sickening. Now, the final sign that you're in self-improvement purgatory, you stop doing the things that you love. Maybe you liked listening to a certain genre of music. Maybe it was metal, rap, etc. Or maybe you liked watching a TV show you really enjoyed, but these so-called leaders tell you that what you're going to do is ruin your life, and they may even fearmonger you into thinking what you're doing is now a bad thing and it's somehow not fun even though it is to you. Now, I'll take the example of video games. I'd rather hang around someone who's playing video games and is at least enjoying their life than I would be around the person whose entire persona is about being on this self-development, self-improvement journey, obsessing over having the most optimal life, and is a bit too self-conscious. Understand that you have your own life and you can do whatever the hell you want. It's not like there's someone controlling you above that's gonna just say, oh my god, if you don't follow these habits, you're dead. If you don't do this, you're crushed. Understand something, guys? If you see videos like this, if you see, 7 deadly habits, or God forbid, they may even say something like, why video games is the worst thing. Like, they'll exaggerate on purpose, guys. It's for you to fall for those clickbaity kind of thumbnails and to get more views and for them to just get more attention and audience as well. The amount of conjecture that is portrayed about these, quote, bad habits is amazing to me because they're not even as bad as what these people make it seem to be. Now, maybe for them it's really bad and they can't control themselves or whatever, but they were already bad people to begin with in the first place. That's why you've watched this video all the way till now. Now, to conclude, understand that I'm not your daddy, and so aren't the rest of these self-help or self-improvement or cult leaders, whatever you want to call them. These people aren't your daddies either. So you need to learn how to make up your own mind, have critical thinking skills, and decide to live your own life. This may mean for some of you guys, you're not going to sit there every day and do the same things on repeat, because guess what? You may have to go out and get a job. I know that scares some of you guys, but it's the truth, okay? You need to grow up and go through your own life, okay? Your whole life can't be about being on the internet, being with these communities, being a part of these cult leader schemes, or etc. Okay? Understand something, guys? You need to learn how to live your own life. Each one of these purgatory trap signs are relative and can change depending on what said influencer you've been watching. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this.